And welcome back. Today we're going to be talking to Logan Droulard about his new book, The Bushcraft. Logan, come on.
Nice to see you, John. How's it been? It's been quite a while since I've been last on here. Last time I was on here was for Bushcraft 101, I believe, which is actually a New York Times bestseller.
Right. Oh, yeah. That thing topped the charts.
I know.
I love it. Sits on my shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it out every once in a while. So, you've put together a new book for us, right?
I have.
Called Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking in the Wild.
Yep.
Right. So I want to know, why'd you make this book?
Well, decided to make this book a little while ago. Actually, very long time ago, back when I was a child. You see, my grandparents, they've, ever since I was a child, they always raised me to love the forest, love the woods. But nowadays, children are just so disconnected. And I just don't feel there's that sense of outdoorsmanship. So I wrote this book so any newbies who were interested in pursuing outdoorsmanship could go ahead, look through this book, got a bunch of new ideas on how to survive out in the outdoors.
All right. So this book is directed towards kids?
Not really. It's more so directed to anyone, any age, who's looking towards becoming an outdoors person. Any age, any person. I mean, 100 years old may be a little bit too old, but you're never too old to try. That's what I always say.
Right. Okay, so we touched on this back with your 101 book.
Obviously,
right?
yes.
Yeah. What makes this book unique?
This book? Well, my 101 book, that's all about things like shelter and more so things like, how do I phrase this? It's more so towards things beginner, non-cooking, trapping, food related. It's more so towards stuff like water and whatnot.
Right. So this one's about cooking? Like this is a cookbook?
Well, yes and no. That book contains quite a few recipes for out in the wild. And honestly, it's more so for gathering and trapping and whatnot. So it lists different ways of cooking, for example, like roasting over a fire and whatnot. But it also includes ways of trapping and what to look for when you're gathering and whatnot. Also contains beautiful illustrations, all done by hand by me in there. It was a lot of work, I got it done.
Right. So how did you choose these themes? Like what made you want to put all this together?
Oh, well, obviously, like I stated before, my grandparents, they really did help me out on this journey. I actually visited their house not too long ago, right before making this and publishing, and had them correct my work. Yeah. They are the experts, you know.
Right.
And the theme, well, I figured since I already have stuff like shelter, water purification, next thing to go from there would be trapping, gathering, and cooking.
All right. So we're really, you've got your 101 book.
Yep.
You've got this book. I know you've got some other books out there. Would you recommend people to go read the whole series?
Well, I have 4 books in my little series here that I got going on. So far, I have Bushcraft 101, Advanced Bushcraft, this book, and I believe I have one on more advanced into like shelter, water purification. Bushcraft, Advanced Bushcraft is more like, it tackles more things like where to place it, how to plan for your adventure, stuff like that.
Right. And this one goes into that kind of detail with the trapping, cooking, gathering, right?
A bit, yeah.
All right. All right. Unfortunately, that's all that we have for today. Thank you, Logan, for coming out. And we're going to, everybody go pick up his book, Bushcraft, Trapping, Gathering, and Cooking.